Hi everyone, and welcome to a rather special edition of Fact of the Day. Why is it special? Well, we'll find out in a minute. It's going to be about a country, and what you're seeing in front of you is the flag of this country. Can you name where we are going to go? Very, very difficult. Extra kudos if you get this one. Very, very difficult. Well, very, very well done if you said Indonesia. This is the flag of Indonesia. But what is particularly special about Indonesia? What makes it special? Well, some of you may know. I'm sure some of you do. That is where Benji lives. Benji, right now, is living out in Indonesia. Okay, so we're going to find out a bit about Indonesia, and we're going to see exactly where Benji lives. So it'll be great fun. Benji and his mum have sent me loads of facts to share with you, so we're going to have good fun with this one. First of all, we need to find out where Indonesia is. That would help. So let's go to Google Earth. You may notice all these little white squiggly lines all over it. That's because I've changed one of the settings. Can you figure out what these squiggly lines are? What do you think they are? Big well done if you said countries. These squiggly lines are just the borders, so you can clearly see the countries. For example, here's France, here's Spain, there's Italy, and here is us. But we can't see Indonesia here. It is nowhere near here. We need to travel this way, head towards the Indian Ocean. And we know we're in the Indian Ocean when we find India, big pointy country, and it points right towards the Indian Ocean. Keep going round, and you'll get to the point where you can still see India. You can also see this country down here. Can you name what this country is? We've looked at it a couple of times in the previous facts of the day. You'll find Uluru right in the middle, and Sydney. It is Australia. And Indonesia is right in between them. So you've got India, Australia, and here, these islands are Indonesia. I shall zoom in a wee bitty for you. You can see all the names of each country come up, and right there is Indonesia, all this here. I'm going to take you to a slightly easier map to look at. This one. And here it is, all the green highlighted parts are Indonesia. The sort of pale colours are different countries, like down here is Australia. So this is Indonesia. First thing you may notice is, wow, that's made up of a lot of islands. And indeed it is. In fact, you can't even see all the islands on this map. If you were to count them, it would take a long, long time. Take a guess. How many islands do you think make up Indonesia? Take a guess. Well, I'll tell you, it's over 17,000. Over 17,000 islands. Wow. And yeah, it's a big country, and there's a lot of people live in Indonesia. In fact, it's the fourth most populated country in the world. So you've got China, most people live in China, then India, and then after that it's the United States, and then Indonesia. And Indonesia has a population of about 320 million. So 320 million people live here, mostly on this island here of Java, right here. That's where you'll find the capital city, Jakarta, which we'll have a wee look at later. So, where is Benji? Because this is a big country with lots of islands. Where is Benji? Well, he is on one of the bigger islands called Sumatra. You can have a pause if you like, see if you can find it. If not, I will tell you, it is right over here. This is Sumatra. Now, I'm going to go back to Google Earth, and we're going to zoom in. So this big island here is Sumatra, and Benji lives right at the very top of it, right at the tip. Sumatra, there's a lot of people live in Sumatra. About 50 million people live in Sumatra, so almost as many as in Britain. A little bit less. I think it's about 65, 70, but still a lot of people. So we're just zooming in here, right to the very, very tip of Sumatra, and you'll see a big city here, Banda Aceh, and just next to this big city, on the coastline, is the town of Loch Na, right on the tip of Sumatra, next to this beautiful beach. And this, everyone, is where Benji lives. And we can just give him a big wave. Hi, Benji. Hi. What's the time now? Oh, he might even be sleeping now. The time is different there, but we'll talk about that in another fact of the day. And I believe, if you want to see exactly where he is, I think, and I hope I'm right, I think he's about here. So just a stone's throw, as they say, away from the beach. Very, very short walk to the beach, and we'll see a picture of the beach later. So Loch Na in Indonesia, this is where Benji lives. So what sort of things did Benji want to tell us about? I'll just say that Banda Aceh, the city that's close by, it's a big city. It's bigger than Inverness. So just to let you know, but Benji lives in this wee town just next to it. So I think the first thing that Benji wanted you to know is it's very hot. Indonesia is a very hot country, very close to the equator. Gets a lot of sunlight. The sunlight hits it dead on. So it's very, very hot, and it stays the same almost throughout the whole year, and it's very hot. It's about an average of 30 degrees, and we very rarely hit that, even on our hottest days in the summer. Very rarely will we get 30 degrees. That's very, very hot. It's a very tropical country with lots of jungles and amazing. There's the jungle, picture of the jungle, and amazing wildlife. So in Indonesia, you will get tigers, you will get monkeys, you will get amazing, beautiful colored birds, and you'll get elephants. What type of elephant is this? Do you remember from one of the previous facts of the day? Small ears, 2 domes at the top. This would be an Asian elephant. And we're not in Africa, so we know it definitely can't be an African elephant. And if we look here, remember this from the elephant one? The green is where the Asian elephants live. And look at this big island here. That's Sumatra. So that's so the Asian elephants do live in Indonesia as well. So that's very, very cool. Also pythons, big pythons. Benji, they once had one. They found one in their hen house. Pretty terrifying. Whoa, that would have been scary. But yeah, there's a python. You get lots of cool snakes around, and a monitor lizard. Monitor lizard. Now, lots of types of monitor lizards, lots of different sizes, and the biggest one is this. This is the biggest monitor lizard in the world. You get lots of them, lots of these in Indonesia, and you get these as well, the biggest ones, but they're only on a few islands. Do you remember what they're called? Biggest lizard in the world, this. The Komodo dragon. Excellent. If you said that, and they were fearsome things, you wouldn't want to mess with one of these. An amazing sense of smell, and they've got this bacteria in their saliva, so when they bite something, it stops you. When you get cut, your blood clots. It's called clotting, which means it'll stop you bleeding more. But what this saliva does is if it bites you, it'll stop your blood from clotting, so you will just bleed to death. So what it does is it bites its prey, and then it can just leave it. The prey will go off, but it will continue to bleed, and then monitor this Komodo dragon will just slowly follow you until its prey can't move anymore. So don't mess with these things. Biggest lizard. But Benji is safe, because if we look here, you can actually see it, Komodo, just down here. There's a few islands here, and Benji's way up here. You don't get the Komodo dragons up here. They're just down here. Excuse me. So, what else can we learn about? The amazing sea life. One of Benji's favourite things to do is to go snorkeling. Remember, he's right next to the sea. So just pop on the snorkel, the flippers, and in you go. And you can see these amazing things: a sea turtle, rays, this sea snake here. They're actually venomous as well. You wouldn't want to get bitten by one of them, but amazingly beautiful things to see. The lionfish, look at that. And of course, a clownfish. Same as the type they used for Finding Nemo. So Benji goes snorkeling, and if he's lucky, he gets to see some of these creatures. So very, very cool. Let's have a look at the beach next to. Can you remember the name of the town? Loch Na. Loch Na. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. Loch Na, and here it is. Look at that. Is a beautiful beach. Very, very beautiful. And it just looks warm, doesn't it? It looks lovely and warm. A couple other things. You'll notice some waves here at the background, and it is one of the most famous places to go surfing. Lots of surfing. People will come from all over the world to surf here. Very, very good waves. Good waves for surfing. Lots and lots of fun. I don't know if you've tried surfing. I certainly have, and wow, it was a lot harder than I thought. Way harder than I thought, but great, great fun. Let's go back to the map. We've already learned a lot about Indonesia, what it is like there, but what else can we learn? Well, as we've said, it is hot. It's a very hot tropical country, and in fact, it doesn't really have 4 seasons like we do. You know, we've got spring and winter and autumn and summer. It doesn't really have that there. It's kind of really got two, and that's just dry weather and wet weather. So in our sort of summer time, that's the sort of the dry season, if you like. There won't be a lot of rain, and then in their winter it'll just be wet, a lot more rain. It's called monsoon season, so lots of rain, bringing cool thunderstorms, lots of lightning and everything. Very, very cool. No snow. You won't find any snow in Indonesia, apart from on the tops of some of the highest mountains. This one over here, that's one of the highest mountain in Indonesia over here. So you'll get snow up there, but nowhere else. So no winter, no winter. So that's very interesting. You know, it's a totally different what's called climate. The weather there is totally different than what we get, and that's because we're much further up north. So in the winter, the sun, the heat from the sun kind of just bounces off of us. But because Indonesia is so much closer to the middle of the earth, the sun still hits it kind of dead on, even in summer, in winter even. So it's very, very, very hot all year round. What about the language? They speak Indonesian, but there's loads of local languages all dotted around all these islands. And in Loch Na and that area around there, they have, I think it's pronounced Achinese. We'll go for that. Hopefully that's right. That's a sort of a local language up here. So if you went to school there, you would grow up with two languages. You'd have Indonesian and Achinese as well. I'm sure there are places in Indonesia where you'd speak even more languages. So that is very interesting as well. Let's continue. This is Jakarta, the capital. If we go back, we can see it here, Jakarta, on the island of Java. It's not on Sumatra, it's on Java. This is where most people live. Jakarta. So I just put a picture in there just so you can see. Very, very big city. Lots and lots of people live there. In fact, twice as many people live in that one city as the whole of Scotland. So twice as many people. So big city, big population. Looks like a very beautiful city as well. Very, very nice. Never been there. I've never actually been to Indonesia, but I would love to go, especially after learning all this stuff. I'd love to go see all the wildlife. That'd be amazing. So let's move on from the capital, Jakarta. And does any of you know what this is? So all these steps. They are also known as paddy fields, and it's rice, growing rice. This is how you grow rice. It's quite easy to spot rice fields, or paddy fields as they're also known, because they've got all these steps. Um, so Indonesia grows a lot of rice, and so it's a big part of their diet. And Benji and his mum was saying that you'll eat rice will be part of your diet. Still 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Big part of your life down there. Over there is rice. And there we have it. Lots and lots of information for you there. I'll leave you with this beautiful picture of some of the islands. Very, very nice. And in fact, just one more time, we'll give a wave to Benji in Lochna. Hi, Benji. Hello. Hope you're well over there, enjoying the nice warmth. And we'll zoom out. And remember, if you want to find where Benji lives yourself on a map, head to Indonesia, look for the island of Sumatra, then go right to the very top. It's actually pointing towards India, so that might be a way you can remember it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. I certainly did. Learned a lot about Indonesia, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. And we'll see you. We'll speak to you tomorrow. Okay, right. Bye.